Okay, hello guys. First of all, I would like to thank you enough to invite me on this platform, to guide juniors, which is very overwhelming for me, as introduction is already done. So let's start. But Marjorie, you want to introduce something?
No. Continue, Shahid.
Okay. Okay. Okay, now I'm audible. Okay. Okay, it's like I'm starting again. First of all, I would like to thank you enough to invite me on this platform to guide my juniors, which is very overwhelming for me. And I might also mention, I'm the final year student of BTech ME. And as mentioned in the slide, I'm the part of technical society. I'm the final year student of BTech ME. And as mentioned in the slide, I'm the part of technical society. I'm the final year student of BTech ME. And as mentioned in the slide, I'm the part of technical society. Okay. As mentioned in the slide, I am the part of Technical Society Team Yantriki, which build ATV, and we also participated in national level events like Baha, SAE, ATVC, and Mega ATV, which really taught me a lot of things. And I've also done industrial training in Subros Limited. Like uh, I'm also like to introduce a company, which is a leading manufacturer of thermal products like ACs, and I've also done training in Subros plant of Manesar, where I have studied production and technology of heating ventilation. That is HVAC system of an automobile AC. Okay. Now, can you move to the next slide?
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Padmanjari and I'm currently pursuing mechanical and automation engineering from IGDTUW, and I hope some of you know me. I'm in my fourth year and I have completed my schooling from Convent of Jesus and Mary. I am from Delhi as well. I completed my summer internship from Schneider Electric this year, where I worked on the topic. I did a project on the topic simplification of switchgear. During my second year, I also interned at DRDO, where I did a project on characteristics of different explosive material. Along with it, I was part of Innerve last year, where I was working as an associate, and I'm also a former member of IS Formula student, and we participated in Formula Bharat 2020. I have keen interest in designing, therefore I really like strength of material and CAD are like my strong topics. Other than that, I'm also interested in quality control and production management. So that way, that's it about me. So you can continue with the slide.
Okay, it's like how to start. Like first question arises that in which field you are really interested, mechanical or like software, which field? But like someone can run both, but for me it is very difficult to manage both the projects because in resume you have to show projects. Managing both projects is very difficult. So first of all, you need to clear about it. I think prioritize this by working on it. Choose the field that you really amaze of. Like don't try to follow others every time. Take personal decision. Like after finalize that which field you are interested, you really want to go in Mac company, so start working on that time, and be a mechanical engineer, not be a smart mechanical engineer, which is really different from others. How to achieve it? Like try to see things practically, not every time theoretically, practically. So to achieve this, find like projects that you can do with basic knowledge, like which can enhance your skills and confidence. You can start learning any designing software like Katia, SolidWorks, and Autodesk Fusion 360, and or analysis software, ANSYS, Hypermesh, and also like start some reading research papers, like what are the technologies are introduced in markets. So like starting with the research papers is like very boring, but like when you move forward it will be more interesting and you will be more habitual of this. So you should prioritize things, like learn to invest your time wisely, because this time can never cannot reverse it back. Okay, so it's like prioritize your things. Okay, it's like move next slide. I was like, Padmanshri, you're unmute. Second, you're on mute. Okay.
So, how to manage time for projects in between semesters. So, before that, we should know the importance of project. Okay, so being an engineer, we believe in creating things. Okay, so we try to find solution for society's need. That is why projects plays a very important role. Okay, so project means applying our technical knowledge, that what all we have learned in our college, and create something new. It can be a solution, or it can be some design, or maybe a real life object such as a robot. So project not only helps to glorify or make our resume attractive, it also helps us to enhance our knowledge, and also by doing project we can gain experience by including various skills as well, by knowing various skills as well, such as some software like Creo or maybe Ansys, or studying different types of research papers, we get to know what exactly is being done in these different fields. So that is why projects plays a very important role. They also help us it also help us to improve our management skills as well, like to effectively it helps us to be more effective, enhances our effectiveness, improve our communication as well as leadership skills. And project can also, so that is how project helps to develop management skills. Actually, if you work on your project with sincerity and dedication, it also helps you to get your dream job. Okay, so you should keep all these points in mind. That is why project is important. Now, how to manage time for project? It completely depends upon you. Okay, you have to contribute time, because only then your interviewer, if you are sitting in some interview, only then interviewer can know that what exactly you are interested in which direction you are inclined in. So to let to other people know what exactly you want to do, you should do few projects. So you can start by finding out your areas of interest, and maybe then you can approach some professors who are related to that field from your college. You can ask for their guidance, and then maybe you can start working on it. And if your project work is up to some standard, then they will help you to publish your project in different journals as well. So that is how you can do it. For example, in our college, usually in the month of August and September, we are kind of free. Okay, we are not that pressurized with exams and stuff. So I think this is like the correct time when you can start working on your project, because at least you have a month before your exam, before you start preparing for your midterm exams or your end term exams. So you can easily achieve a target, and you can complete few projects as well. So next slide, Shika.
Okay, which subject you need to focus on? Like as we all know that like mechanical is very vast. There's like 5 to 6 subjects in every semester that we have read. But like but from third semester there are some core subjects like for mechanical engineers like strength of materials, thermal engineering, theory of machines, machine design, production technology, material science. There are some subjects which are like interlinked also, like if you don't know what is yield strength, so how you design machine. Same goes for material science. It is also important subject like machine designing. So every subject has its own importance. Like after that you will study about fluid mechanics, heat transfer, and there are also some subject maybe which are not in your syllabus like refrigeration and air conditioning, IC engine. So you have to manage this subject also on your own. These are all core subjects of mechanical engineering. And I'm not saying that it's like everyone knows all subjects properly, not me also. But don't ignore any subjects completely. You should know the basics of every subject, because at the time of placement, interviewer like test how technically you are strong. So try to build your concept in starting year, because it's like never cram things for exams only, because it will be very difficult for you. So try to understand itself, so that in placement time just need to revise concept. And in most of the time in placement they ask for one subject or two subject favorite subject. So as for that, like try to prioritize two strong subject of yours. But it's like if you miss any subjects, so you can cover it by managing time in summer breaks, or it's like whenever you need time. Okay, next slide.
So how to prepare for internship and placement drive? So you should start by preparing a solid resume. Okay, so mention all the things that you have done in your college. Highlight your achievements and your awards. Mention your technical skills and project done. Pay special emphasis on technical skills and project done. Okay, once you are done with your resume making, you have to start studying, because you don't have any other option. You have to study. Okay, so most of the companies have written round, which consists of field based questions. For example, if mechanical company is coming, they will ask you mechanical based question, basic aptitude questions, English, logical reasoning, numerical reasoning. So pick any book that is related to your subject and start reading it. Start working on your basics first. Okay, and also try to solve as many numericals as you can. because like the format of the paper is that it is an MCQ based, it is like a MCQ based paper. Okay, so for, and it is also time based. I mean, they will give you 30 questions and you have to answer 30 questions in 30 minutes. So that is why you have to manage your time as well. So if you haven't prepared for like if you haven't solved many questions, so then you won't be able to complete your paper like completely and on timely basis. So you have to check also, so you can also check out company wise questions on different website. Now second round, usually it doesn't happen, but I mean this year it didn't. But usually second round is group discussion. And if you're good in communication skills, then you don't have to worry. And if you're not good, if you're not so that good in communication, in communicating with people, then you should start working on it immediately. Because it is not only limited to the group discussion level, the group discussion round, you also have to appear for personal interview and then HR round as well. And communication is like the basic skill that you should have. Okay, so during group discussion round, they give you some general topic, for example, how social media is affecting your life, or how coronavirus affected economy of a country. So you only have to give few genuine points in the discussion. It is just like general discussion with other candidates who are appearing this round with you. You don't have to give a speech. Few concrete points you can say for or against the topic. Then comes like the technical interview. So for the technical interview, brush up your skills that you have mentioned on your resume. You should know everything that is written on your resume. You should know about each and every skills that you have mentioned, about all the projects that you have done, why you started with this project, what was the process of this project, what were the roadblocks that you faced during doing it, and how did you solve all those problems. You should know everything about it. Don't lie on your resume. Okay, I would place special emphasis on this. Don't lie on your resume, because there have been instances when students lie on their resume and then they get caught. So it is really embarrassing, and we don't have to embarrass ourselves in front of the interviewer. Okay, and even if you don't know any question, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can just say that I will read about this topic. Avoid giving wrong answers. Just be true to them also. I mean, they understand that you cannot answer all the question, and it's completely fine with them. Okay, so yeah, well, this was about technical round. For technical round, your basics should be clear. Okay, also you can do some sort of smart work, like that company is like a design based company, so you should pay special emphasis on topics that are related to design. For example, strength of material, or maybe computer aided designing, or maybe machine designing. So I mean, you should pay emphasis on every subject, but special emphasis to these subjects. Okay, and finally there is an HR round. Usually technical and HR round can be taken separately or maybe together as well. So in the HR round, questions are they are about yourself, because they want to know you. They want to know about your strengths, maybe your weaknesses, about your characteristics, or about your different types of interest. They want to observe you. They want to know what kind of a person you are. Okay, so you can prepare answers of such question beforehand. And maybe then you will be easily answering these questions. They are not that difficult. Also, try to be positive in your interview. Okay, you don't have to show your negative side or your weaknesses, because nobody wants to know that. Everyone wants to know your positive side, or maybe your strengths. Okay, because that is what makes you powerful. That is what makes you like what makes you different from other are your strengths. Okay, so start working on it. So this is that, like, I mean, this is how you can prepare for your internship and placement drive. Next slide, Rishika.
Okay, like come to resume, building resume for mechanical engineers. Like as we all know that resume is very important part for sitting in placement, whether it is like off campus, on campus, as it represents you completely. Interviewer will judge you by a single page, so you need to make sure that it is very precise, attractive, and easily readable. So the start, you can choose any basic format from any site. On the top, you can mention basic things like your name, phone number, email, decent photo. Then start with a single liner objective if you want. Then directly come to the education qualification, which includes like 10, 12 graduation details like year, institution name, and percentage you got. Now, important part, if you have any industry experience, that will be really boost your resume. So mention it briefly in points. Interview will definitely ask question regarding this, so get prepared according to it. Now come to projects. Your project should be interesting, related to mechanical, or you can also like make projects of mechanical or mechatronics if you're aiming to crack core company. And after mentioning all projects in brief and basic things, you should have complete knowledge about this. Like Manju said, they will ask about it definitely. So if your project is unique, try to write any research paper on it with the help of any faculty and mention it in your resume. That will also boost your resume. And it will be very useful for your future if you are aiming for masters. And now coming to the sales skills, software skills, software skills like for mechanical engineers like KTA, SolidWorks, ANSYS, HyperWorks, that will be beneficial for use sitting in placement. So try to do any course of this. And tools are like Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel. Like you should be intermediate for this, like not beginning, intermediate or advanced. And you can write any language if you know C++, C, Java, Python, any one language you should know. Then it's like write your position of responsibility, that if you have read any project or represent your skill in any event, so you can brief about it. And you can mention also achievements if you have, whether it is of individual or team achievements that you are part of it. It is also plus point for you. And at last, add all the certifications of any additional courses that you have done. And it's like anything you have mentioned in your resume, you should know completely. Okay.
Okay, so I recently completed my I was like a summer intern at Schneider Electric, and it was an on-campus opportunity. So like Schneider came to our college, I think in like first week of April, and in the first week of April itself, they took our test. So initially, I mean, I was really interested because I always wanted to work like in core mechanical sector, and it was my company was also mechanical based company. So I wanted to and also my like office was in Bangalore, so I wanted to go to Bangalore and live myself, so it was really attractive. Okay, so like after the results were like out, only one girl was shortlisted, and I was really disheartened. I mean, I was like very sad, but then it was April, and by August anyway placement companies start coming, so I kind of got over it. And the next day itself I got COVID, and that day itself, I got a call from Schneider people that I have my interview like the very next day, and I had COVID. So, I mean, I couldn't really prepare well for the interview, but because we were having our offline exams, we had our offline exams last semester, and that too after after a very long period of time. So I kind of started taking my studies seriously, and I also started working on my basics, as well, because I thought that I will flunk my exam. But anyway, so that is why I started taking my studies seriously. That is when all of these things start helping you, because it actually happens whenever a company comes, they will take your test immediately, like 2-3 days after you get the email from college, and the very next day they will shortlist a student, and you will have like it. This complete process takes around 2 to 3 days, so you don't get enough time to prepare. I mean, if you're waiting for like the last moment that okay ठीक है end में जाके हम पढ़ाई करना start करेंगे, so you can't do that. Okay, you have to start right now, धीरे धीरे you have to do it. So I mean, my interviewer was really nice. He knew that I'm not well, and so I mean, okay, he asked me questions related to my projects, and some questions because my project was related to fluid mechanics. So he started asking me questions related to fluid mechanics and heat transfer. So it was, all in about smooth. I was really scared though. I mean, if I would get shortlisted or not. Then I had my HR round. HR round was also very nice. I mean, they asked me about my strengths, my weaknesses, about my characteristics. I mean, different types of like what are my interests and likes and dislikes and stuff like that. Finally, it got over, and in June, I went to Bangalore. So I was really excited because I had to live like there for myself, with like by myself for like 2 months. Also, the office was like phenomenal. I really loved it. I mean, actually, like till now, we all are like students. Going to the office and working there as an employee is like like dream come true, isn't it? We all wanted to work someday. Like we wanted like we don't want to be students anymore. So I really enjoyed myself thoroughly. I also, got to know many people of different various diversity, like from different parts of India, and yes, everyone were like so helpful. I also, the most important thing was that initially, like, before my internship, I was, I lack social skills. Okay, I do lack social skills, and I'm not good at communicating with people. Going out there and talking to new people is really difficult for me. But that is something I started doing when I went to Schneider. I started talking to different people. I took initiative, and that is how I built my communication skills as well. Okay, and at the same time, they definitely gave me a project that I had to work on. I completed that project. So it was like more or less a very good, very nice opportunity. I mean, everything was, went smoothly, and it's like, first internship, so I really loved it. So yeah, well, that's that about mine. Shaheen would, tell her experience now, share her experience now.
Okay, it's like I got internship in Subros Limited. It's like their nearby plants are Noida and Manesar, but I choose for Manesar because this is quite, it's like not far from my home, but I managed. It's like their working culture and training environment is like very nice. I got to learn so many things like by doing my project there. Everyone was so supportive, and main thing is that I get real exposure of like industries, what are the real problems come in the production, how to tackle it, how to tackle the workers. I have observed all the things, which is very amazing for me. Now it's like I feel I'm a real engineer after working there, and I got to learn things about AC, how AC work completely. Like Subros manufacturing AC for Maruti, it's like 80% Maruti AC manufacturing in Subros. That is very amazing for me. So it was a very nice experience for me there. Like,
Okay, so are there any questions?
Guys, if you have any kind of question, you can ask. Meghna, you are not audible on the stream, so I'll start. So, Didi, first question they are asking is hurdles faced while managing mechanical and tech both.
Okay, so I'm not from the tech side. I'm completely from the mechanical side. I mean, yeah, so I don't know how people handle it. I think it's like for me, it would be too difficult. But yes, like with this current batch, we could see, like in our batch, we could see that some of the mechanical girls, have, bagged really good packages from the tech companies as well. So I think that you should start working on, like, there are some topics, for example, DS, SQL, and coding language. Maybe you should start preparing with it, but I'm not the correct person who can answer this question for you guys. But yes, I mean, you should do time management is definitely important because if you want to do mech as well as technical, you have to give devote equal time because your academics are also there, and then tech because if you want to go on the tech in the tech side, then you should work on your time management skills, I would say.
Okay, I hope Didi has answered your question now. So the next question is the how to approach DRDO for internships.
Okay, so for DRDO, you can, okay, so for second year, I think if you are in second year, then DRDO is like a better place to work. So what you can do is you can email your resume and you can email a cover letter, right? I mean, like by sharing your interest about your college, about your CGPA and stuff, and you can email it to them. Okay, either you can email it to them or you can directly go to their office. I think it is near Delhi University, and you can submit your application there. They would call, I mean, if your internship is starting in June, then you should probably go there by April, I would say. And then they will email you. Okay. Or if you have any contacts, maybe through them also you can get an internship, I would say.
Yeah, so I'll move on to the next question. Mechanical is not what everyone wants to do. So, what inspired you to work completely in mechanical side?
Okay, so well, engineering is not about civil, mechanical, EC, or CSE. It is about providing sustainable and suitable solution to problems. Okay, so most of the time, the problems that we need multidisciplinary team to solve any problem. And if all of us will go towards CSE and IT, then then our innovation and innovative approach and potential will also get affected. So that is I always wanted to go into mechanical. Also, I like to feel things, like I want something to be made, like I want real life object to be made in front of me. So that is why I always wanted to go into mechanical. Also, I have keen interest in designing. So that is why I think that is something that pursued me to take mechanical. Also, I'm very bad at coding. I can't understand coding like at all. Like at all. I had like CS in 11th and 12th, and in like first month of 11th, I well understood that this is not for me. So yeah, well, I won't be doing it. So that something that was like uh, motivated me to do mechanical.
For me, it's like when I'm in when I was in 11th or 12th, I also studied C++. I don't know about it. I even forget about it. When took admission in IGDU, I have saw a society team Yantriki. I really amazed about it. Then I started working it, and I got to learn practical things that really amazed me. That what is mechanical engineering, not like theoretically, what is practical, how transmission work, how steering mechanism works, how brakes mechanism work, what is roll cage, and what is machinery. Like, and in thermal subject we have studied about refrigeration and AC. That the thing amazed me. So I like that time I decided I want to go and Cormac company.
Okay, now I guess both the Didis have answered this question. So we'll move on to the next question. How did you stay stable, not wavering towards tech, even after seeing your peers going towards tech field?
Okay, so you know what? It is all about your interest. Okay, you just cannot see someone and then decide to do that. Okay, it's like peer pressure. That is the term that is being used nowadays. So I mean, it is about your profession, and you have to stay with it for like your entire life. If I start coding, and if I apply for software development developer, and try to be a software engineer, then I have to continue with it for like the rest of my life. I won't be able to switch back to mechanical, or a mechanical person cannot switch to like after few years, after you have decided your profession, then it is very difficult to move. So you should be interested in what you do. Okay, you should be interested. If you want to become a software developer, even after you have mechanical, you can very much do that nowadays. Okay, and that like our college has made this thing very easier also for us. So if you think that your interest lies in that area, start working towards it. Okay, don't look at others. If you are interested in being a design engineer, or you want to do something in mechanical, then go for it. Don't look at your peers, because then after a few years you will lose interest, and you will be dissatisfied, discontent. So that is something you should avoid doing. Okay, because this is not something, this will stay with you for like years now. This was something that you can't change. Okay, so that is why.
Okay, I agree with the answer of Marjorie.
Okay, it's a very interesting question. Next one is, I mean, how did you know that tech was calling your calling you for sure? I mean, Meg was calling you for sure, I guess.
How was Mac was calling me for sure? Yeah, well, that is a very interesting question. I think I started working. I was like former member of IS. Okay, and as I told you that I'm not good at coding, so I had to go somewhere, right? But once I joined IS, and we built like a car from scratch. It was like very like it was something new. I mean, something that I've not never seen before. And we even took participated in this like this competition in Formula Bharat 2020 in Coimbatore. We went to Coimbatore, and everything was like so exciting. I mean, like working on your car in itself is like we used to go for market surveys. I remember that is something that actually encouraged me that yes, I want to make a career in mechanical engineering. Then during my second year, we started doing a project on FD analysis of turbine blade, and there we started using some software such as Answers and Creo, and I really liked designing. That was something that then I finally know that I want to become like that is the time where I decided that I want to become a designer, design engineer. So I think those were the things that motivated me to be kind towards mechanical only.
Shine Didi, you want to answer this?
Okay, for me, it's like everyone can see that most of the mechanical engineers are only boys, not girls. That we have participated in events like IS Formula and like BA SAE. So when I went Mega ATV in Goa, I have seen like all the teams have boys only, only boys. If girls like they can like do minor work, not like important work. So our team is like only girls team, so that motivated me so like to be a mechanical engineer, that girls can do everything by using a screw, just like by making a mobile phone, everything. So that really amazed me. Team Yantriki really amazed me. The overall answer is Team Yantriki. That is what that I'm here only.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next question. Somebody is asking that what are the important subjects for interviews?
I think important subjects are, I think your second year subjects that you have done, like strength of material, thermodynamics, I think that they are very important because, they are like the basics of mechanical, like fundamentals of mechanical. So definitely they are going to ask you questions from these topics. Okay. I mean, they might ask you questions from FMHM and heat transfer as well, but I personally feel that these are the topics that you should give special importance emphasis on. So yes, because other subjects are basically developed on these subjects only. Like if you don't know strength of material, how are you going to do theory of material, and then how are you going to do machine designing and all. Similarly, if you don't know thermodynamics, then how are you supposed to know FMHM and heat transfer? So you should work on your fundamental subjects such as strength of material and thermodynamics. According to me, they are like very important.
And these are the most difficult subject.
No, these are not difficult. It's like once you start, it will become easy. Seriously,
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Okay, please motivate us to start these subjects. अब तो चले गए but still आगे. Okay, so what are the various domains in mechanical and automation that we can explore?
I think there is production management. Obviously, you can work in production department of any company. You can work as an operational engineer as well. Maybe as a program engineer. You can also work as a design engineer. Maybe you can work in some power plant, or maybe you can be working in working on different types of machines and tools as well. So yeah, I mean, these are like you can also work on automation. Obviously, AI is definitely one of them. So yes, I think these are like you can also go to non-mechanical jobs as well from mechanical. It is actually very easy to switch from mechanical because in mechanical we also give special importance to management, because it is also very important subject as well in our mechanical department. So I think you can explore these many streams. You can also go for quality control, because nowadays special emphasis is given to quality. So there are like various jobs, and there is like separate department in various office, in various companies for specially dedicated to quality. So yes.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next question. Meghna, okay, how do you go about finding like-minded people, especially when you, just a second, just a second. Okay. How do you go about finding like-minded people, especially when you don't see people interested in your niche?
Okay, like-minded people. I believe Shaheen is like one of my like-minded people, because we both want to go to mechanical. Both want to work in mechanical domain only. It is not actually very difficult. Okay, once you go into that field, once you go into that department, you will get like-minded people. Because like where I was working, everyone was mechanical engineer. Seriously, everyone were like mechanical engineer. Everyone were like-minded people only. So like if you are working in your college, if you are like in your college, and if you're looking for like-minded people in your class, then I think half of your class will be inclined towards mechanical, and only half of you will be inclined towards tech. So it's not that difficult to get like-minded people, I believe. Because ऐसा तो नहीं है कि मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर बन ही नहीं रहे हैं यार.
Okay, so now we'll move on to the next question. Okay, how did you prepare for OA?
Actually, I mean, preparing for OA was not actually that difficult. I mean, firstly, we kind of to prepare for any exam, or for like prepare for any round of like your this placement process. I think they usually you should be working on your basics. Like I told you, strength of material, thermodynamics. Also, OA like question varies from company to company. You also have to look at the job profile that company is offering you, and then you should start studying on those subjects. For example, if there is a design company that is coming to your college for like a design profile, then you should give special emphasis to subjects that are related to designing. Or if your company, the profile is into tools or maybe factory work, then you should give special emphasis to maybe tools, production technology, production management. So I mean, that is how you start studying, and studying for your placement and everything. Shaheen wants to add something to this.
Okay, then we'll move on to the next question.
Also, for online assessment, what you can do is that you should be you should OA is like your test is usually in MCQ format. Okay, so for that, I think you should try solving as many questions as you can. You can take those MCQ books that are very easily available in market, or you can also Google it. You will find various questions on internet as well, and start preparing them, start solving them. Because once you start solving the questions, you get basic idea. And also you will after solving certain number of questions, you will be you can easily solve them in paper as well. So you can also manage time. You can do your paper timely.
There's a site I know, it's like India Bix, which like we can solve many questions like mechanical engineering, for civil, electrical. You can practice aptitude question and different types of aptitudes like traveling time and any question you can practice there. India Bix, and there's also books I did not remember, but you can search out like mechanical engineering aptitude questions book, so you can find them to practice.
Okay, I hope everybody get benefits of these sites. So we'll move to the next question. Skills required for building automobiles.
or particular automobile only.
Like skills. Just a second. Yeah, skills required for building automobiles.
For like starting automobile, first of all you should have knowledge about the subjects, only the subjects. If you know strength of materials, thermodynamics, and production technology, you cannot build like automobile building is like not very, it's like making a toy, it's like big task, moving a making a vehicle. So first of all you should have knowledge about the subjects, that what is strength of materials, like what is yield strength, which material you need to select. So you should know material science, then how you design it. So you need to know about SolidWorks, that what are the designing softwares like an analysis software, hypermesh, ANSYS. So you should have that skills. So without this you cannot build any like automobile.
Okay. So we'll move on to another question. This question has been done, Meghna. Can we move on to the next? Okay. So, how was your internship experience? Any tips for the third years who are gonna intern in the next summer?
So internship. Okay, so my experience working there was like very nice. Okay, so basically, I mean, they will give you, you get to develop various skills. I mean, whether it is your professional skills or personal skills, you can easily develop once you start working in the office. So, like, I got to work on Clio, the software, software, and also I started working on answers also. So I kind of got an you know I kind of got an idea of how to work on Clio and answers. Other than that, I also got to know about little bit about modeling, like modeling different designings and everything. So yeah, well, that was my professional skills that I developed. Like personal skills were like, it is actually a little bit different from what we have been through right now. Like, we are students, right? So once you are working in an office, you're an employee. You're not a student anymore. They won't treat you like a student. They will treat you like one of them. So I think that actually boosts your confidence, and also, I mean, somewhere you feel independent. I mean, till now you are dependent, but after working there, there would be something that you can say that yes, I'm independent enough now. I mean, yes, I've. So I think these are like, that was my internship experience. So for like third year, firstly, I would tell you, like, to for internship, to get any internship on campus, I think you should first try to clear your test, because if you're not able to clear your test, then you won't be sitting for interview, and if you won't be sitting for interview, you won't be get selected. So you should give special emphasis on clearing the test. Okay. And once you are done with your for like test, again, we have told you like many times now that you have to focus on your core subjects, and then you can solve as many numerical and as many problems as you can. So yes, also after you have solved like mechanical core subjects, you have done your core subjects, you also have to give special emphasis to aptitude, logical reasoning also, because there is like this another other section, like in the same exam, where they would be giving you aptitude questions related English questions related to check your English efficient, if you are efficient in this language or not. So you should start preparing for those questions also, because there are times when people are able to solve mechanical question, then these aptitude question and logical reasoning question plays an important role in selecting the best candidate. Okay, so presence of mind is again very much important, because sometimes you like trick doesn't clicks you while you're solving a question. So I mean, these are like the important things that you should focus on. uh, Other than that, if you are able to solve, if you are able to clear your test, then I think for interview becomes a little bit easier, because you already have the knowledge. You just have to answer the questions. It's just like viva that you have been giving in your college. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Didi, for sharing your experience. Can we move on to the next question?
Like for off, like if you want to get an off-campus opportunity, so you can like find like email of the HR in LinkedIn. I personally have done this. Like for Sobros Limited, I have emails like any of HR for like in LinkedIn, and I opted for off-campus intern. So anyhow, I was in production department of condenser, compressor, heating and ventilation. I know the designing and analysis that I have done in projects many times, but in industrial training, I was in production, so I got to know about real manufacturing of the AC parts. I understand the concept practically. That is a plus point. With the designing and analysis, I've also experienced of production, which is very like necessary of industry experience. Okay, moving to the next question.
Yeah, let's move on to the next question. What is the scope for supply chain domain jobs?
Mhm. Okay, so I think given to like the present condition, environmental conditions, supply chain organizations have become, are supposed to become more flexible, and because like more and more things are getting digitalized, so I think supply chain managed supply, so, supply chain organizations should also found, should go towards digitalization. So I think in like next few years we can see like increase in digital supply chain technology, as well as technologies that improve human decision making. So I think yes, digitalization of supply chain management is like the future of supply chain.
Okay, Shine Didi, do you want to say something about this?
Okay, it's like supply chain management is very important. Like it can help to achieve several business objectives, like controlling manufacturing process, like improve production quality and reducing many risks. Like and we can improve like quality by using Six Sigma and many like supply chain tools. So supply chain management provides several opportunities to also improve profit margins, especially for the companies like for international operations also.
Yeah, okay. It was really informative. So now we can move on to the next question. Okay, any suggestions for the fourth year students?
Like in fourth year you are more indulged in placement only. Placement, everyone is like getting prepare for placement. There's so much hype. First one get placement, you will get some kind of jealousy or maybe disheartened by you were not placed. So these all mixed feelings of fourth year placements. Like at Marjorie and me is like already placed, so we are out of this like dilemma.
I hope everyone gets out of this dilemma.
Yeah,
But
sure.
Manjriti, do you want to answer?
कंपनीज आ रही है, बढ़ते जाओ, कहीं ना कहीं हो ही जाएगा.
Exactly.
Okay, so we can move on to the next question. Okay, what is the difference in online and offline placements?
Online and offline placement. Okay,
Yeah,
so
maybe
in
they'll ask, yeah, how is the process? What is the process like for
so
online
you
placement and offline placements?
okay, so in online placement everything is done via Google Meet or maybe Microsoft Teams, and in offline I think they have an online test obviously, and then everything is offline. That is like the company people will be coming to the campus, and then they will be conducting interviews in the campus itself. So it is like face to face dealing. whereas in online they use, like some of the other software. I think online and offline placement, or on campus or off campus placement.
Yeah, maybe on campus or on off campus, he's asking.
Okay. So on campus is like, companies visit our college. I mean, company visits like different colleges. There they conduct like, test interview followed by an interview round. And after each round, students are shortlisted, and based on the performance, they are placed. I mean, they are given like some or the other job opportunity. So that is how, on campus things are done on campus. Whereas in off campus, you have to approach some company. Okay, either you have to send your resume, or maybe you have to look for some job openings, and then you can apply for it. Okay, so yes, that is how you do, but usually you have to contact the HR of like the company you're willing to work, and then you have to send their resume. If they have some opportunity for you, they will definitely contact you back. Okay, so that is how I think off campus things are done.
Like on campus things are quite easier as you're competing with your classmates and college mates, but in off campus you're competing whole India. So this is a quite difficult thing. So try to get on campus first, then you can try for off campus.
Okay, now we can move on to the next question. Yeah, what is the most difficult thing according to you when you started to take part in placement drive?
I think so. I mean, I think clearing your test, the OA, online assessment, is like the difficult task, I personally believe, because there are like at least 35, maybe 40 students from your class who will be taking part in that test. Okay, and only 4 to 5, I guess, in some cases, max to max 10 students are shortlisted. So that is like the most difficult thing. So to get for me, it was like the OA round or the online assessment that was difficult. So yeah.
Shine Didi, do you want to add something?
Okay, it's like clearing test, as Padmanji mentioned, is more difficult because it is the first stage that you need to clear. It's like around you got like 90 minutes and 90 questions. So your approach must be like correct or precise. You cannot waste even now 30 seconds. So the cutoff is very like tough even for classmates also. And then second stage is like GD round or technical interview, that is like also so much tough. So try to practice before giving an interview. Try to practice like with your friend or like any family member, so you can get an overview of this.
Okay, so now we'll move on to the next question. Yeah. What was the thing you want us to avoid while we are in our placement season?
Avoid. Okay, so I think you should give importance to each and every subject. Okay, you should not, I mean, you should get with your basics, because that is something that I have observed personally, that because of COVID time we couldn't give enough importance to subject that we have done during our online classes. Okay, we didn't give sufficient attention to them, because of which not only our basics are not clear, because that is, and because of which our other subjects are also affected because of that. So I think that you should avoid making the same mistake that we did. Give You still have time, like a lot of time. At least you have third year right now, so you should give emphasis on those subjects as well. I know they are difficult, but you have to work on them. You don't have any other option. I mean, yes. Other than that, okay, don't lie on your resume. Something that I would ask you to. I mean, don't lie on your resume. That is something that I would ask you not to do again, because If you will lie, then they will come to know, because apparently interviewers are like they are the person who is taking your interview is usually at like a senior position in the company, so they are very well aware of the fact that people lie on their interview, on their resume, and they can, start asking you questions also. So it is kind of embarrassing, so you should avoid doing that. Also, I think, yeah, I mean, these are the things you should avoid doing. Also, don't cheat on your online exam, like online assessment. So yeah, well, these are the things that I would ask you to avoid doing.
Okay, it's like when third year ends, you will get 2 months. So you can cover the basic subjects like I mentioned, strength of material, thermodynamics, which you lack basically. So you can cover those by continuing with internship or any industrial training that you're doing, because placement is like very first priority, so you have to manage the time in 2 months. That is very precious for you. And when the companies really came, if you're not get selected, so you you cannot be disheartened. So be persistent and you will get where you're destined for. So wait for this.
Also, avoid being depressed if you are not able to clear your test. That doesn't mean that you lack something. It is just that there are some good opportunities out there and they are yet to be explored by you. So don't lose hope, okay? Because it happens sometimes. So you should be always be motivated, and yes, keep on, keep the hard work going, and then you will probably you will get something that you deserve, something better than what you deserve.
Okay, so I guess we are done with all the questions. So of we have come to the end of the session. Thank you so much, Didi. This session was really, truly informative, and I believe I speak on behalf of each one of us present here when I say that Miss Shaheen and Miss Patmanjari, have given us a wonderful insight and perspective. We would like to thank both of you for taking out your precious time and offering a helping hand for all of us. Thank you so much, Didis. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining in, guys. Thank you so much.
Also, thank you so
I
much.
hope you really enjoyed the
We
session.
really enjoyed, it's like answering these interesting questions seriously.
I really hope this session was informative for you. So, thank you so much for joining.